Caesar in Britannia has recently been updated, I'd say rather quickly with a brand new patch. And what does this patch do? Within this download you'll discover 5 newly introduced tribes that once inhabited what is now modern day Wales, along with 2 out of Julius Caesar's 5 legions that accompanied him during his conquest of Albion, later known as Britain. Let me start off by saying that if you want to play the glory of Rome, if you want to besiege the Britannic tribes, if you want to play this fantastic multiplayer experience, you only need to wait for a couple of weeks, because what I am showing you here is epicness. Nothing more than epicness. This is a fantastic mod. You will get hours of incredible content. This will be a very legitimate reason for you to pick up the game and go play multiplayer with your friends. The main aspect is the multiplayer is divided into this. You can play the Britannic tribes, you can play in the series of conquests of planned battle maps, you have custom maps, but as the Romans, you're always going to be outnumbered and you always need your Roman friend to help you out while you fight against the barbarian hordes of Britannia itself. So let's have a look at the battle formations. So if you're playing this mod, you'll play as Romans, and you will have to deal with Britannic tribes that will have more of an advantage than you. And obviously scouting and spotting mechanics will be key, because as you play as the Romans, this is done to showcase that Rome itself is venturing into unfamiliar territories. Therefore, your spotting distance would be weaker. Let's say that we have one of the planned battle modes. That would be the LOC. That is the area of points that you have to take. Imagine a map with multiple English villages, and in that village you, let's say, have a 5-point lead, and which team manages to take 1 point or the other point or 2 points or whatever it is, and at the end the team with the most point will get the wins. So this will be a key multiplayer aspect of this absolutely amazing mode, and I absolutely think that will be great, because I can imagine Joe on it, Pope John Paul, and all of them doing something like this. This will be very familiar to players that have played NTW3. It is meant for a slower pace, but it is also meant to give a sense of realism, a sense of pace, a sense of tension, a sense of urgency. As the Roman player or as a Britannic player, the key to engage the enemy is to deploy light infantry and use scouts to your advantage. And you really need to make use of this as much as you can, because as the Romans, you are restricted by visibility. As the Britons, you are not. The map that you're seeing here is an ambush style map in the mode of breakthrough and in the mode of hold the fort. Now hold the fort is very simple. You play as the Romans, you have to lead your legion to that very fort. But you also need another legion to help you that might help you in that department in cavalry. You might not have cavalry, they might have cavalry. You might not have spears, they might have spears. You might not have archers, they might have archers. So this has also been done in a custom map made by Prolox, one of the fantastic map creators that I'm seeing here, because Thrones of Britannia doesn't have an ambush battle mode. So that right now is a bit of an odd thing, but it's a great example of how multiplayer can be revived in Total War. And when we talk about breakthrough, it's literally the same as hold a fort. You got to get to this fort in 30 minutes, otherwise if you don't, then you have the shame of the Emperor of Rome basically saying, "Varus, where is my legion?" So something like that. Of course, the ability is that the Britons can spot the enemy before you. They have profound familiarity with their lands, they know better than the Roman invaders, and in that campaign, if I may speculate, we may see hints of this when they will have spies and a network of scouts that will report on Roman forces advancing onto their lands. Of course, as I said, a speculation. But this also reflects well in the battle, as you will also fight a force of Romans that will not be able to see you. So it's meant to showcase the challenges that both the Romans and Britons have to face at the very same time. As I've said, we have a conquest mode that allows you to destroy multiple villages. We have hold a fort. You will have to basically hold of relentless barbarian waves. If you're holding the fort and you have to defend against the barbarians, think of the Siege of Alesia in Rome 2, and you've got exactly that. And you've also got the breakthrough, as I've said. I do think that hold the fort and break, and of course, as I've said, there will be an LOC, a points-based system, and you're going to get historical battles, and you're also going to get historical battles, reenactments, and ultimately, this multiplayer aspect will not succeed without you, the amazing Total War community. If you download this mod when it is released and start playing the multiplayer aspect of this, you are going to be in for a great time. If you love the Roman period, if you've always wanted to play Caesar's campaign, then why not? Because when I was talking with the modders about this, especially Fisher, he told me that the Caesar campaign project would be difficult. You wouldn't be able to conquer all of Britain, but if you manage to do it, it will be an amazing feat. But at the same time, there's going to be lots of periods that they're planning. There's going to be a huge amount of work on the custom maps, and it's been done by Prolox, who of course is working and doing things at his own time. But he's still managing to work on some of these great custom maps. And what the Discord does for this mod is that it allows it to reach a great amount of players. But here's the thing, this team needs your support. If you know how to create battle maps, if you know how to create new unit models or design user interface or design anything that is modding related, and I do not claim to be a modding expert, but if you know anything that can help them, anything, that's what they'll need the most. You know, everything that they need, from 2D artists to all that type of stuff. This reminds me of the old Rome Total War mods back in the old days. You know, of the old Medieval 2 mods back in the old days. This is going to revive Total War for a very long time, and it may give Thrones of Britannia a lifeline. It may give Thrones of Britannia's dud launch something new, and you will get, let's say, a Caesar campaign, a Claudius campaign, and maybe a Western Roman campaign. I really would love a Septimius Service campaign in Scotland though, and I would absolutely love a custom map of Hadrian's Wall, which would be great. And as you can see here, while I've said that this is more or less hold the fort, this is in a different way a breakthrough mode as well. Now, as the barbarians, you obviously cannot take the fort. You obviously cannot take it by any means necessary. Because if you do that, well, you're kind of breaking the rules, and the rule book is already being written for this. So we need the amazing historical community and all the players of Total War to participate in this amazing recreation of this time. And obviously, I felt like I was playing an improved Rome 2 experience. I do want more custom animations from Rome 2 and Attila being put into this mod, because the Thrones ones do seem good, but they do seem kind of ahistorical. You know, you will see in a few aspects here. But if you want to conquer Britannia and you want to see rivers of blood, well, rivers of, let's say, red wine coursing through the veins as the civilized Romans attack these Britannic tribes, then be my guest. This is what this mod is going to be. It's going to be multiplayer first. You will have the 5 Britannic tribes, then the 2 Roman, let's say, legions, and more will be added in future updates. And this is going to be, I think, a public release sooner or later, in a couple of weeks, or it could take months, we don't know. Okay? But the main aspect is that you're going to be getting something to play with. And you will be playing Thrones of Britannia a lot more, because this is not the first custom map, and this will not be the last. You will be having Roman cities, and you will have different legions. And you have to make sure that each legion is different. So if one legion is equipped in siege warfare, the other legion might not be. And these all play to various strengths. So the Britons will have a hard time of it, as you can obviously witness here. Now I'm going to be ending the video, but all I'm going to say is just have a great time. You are literally going to be in for a great experience. So don't forget to leave a like, share, comment and subscribe, and I will make a release video on the day. On the release day, I'm going to be doing a live stream, and yeah, see ya. And just to note, I don't have too much time now, but I'm going to be putting up some important information which you can read in the description boxes that talk how to access the first custom map, and that also gives the rules on how to play it, basically. So if you're playing the Romans or playing the Britons, you will know exactly what to do. So please have a look at these pages right now. And another thing, if you want to get access to this closed beta, join the Discord, get in touch with Fisher, and he is free and ready to test out the mod. And if you want to test out the mod and give your feedback, then friend him and he will give you a link to the closed beta testing, which will be pretty much that. Anyway, see ya.